All rise. You may be seated. This is case 432, Machiavelli on trial.
We'll call this court to order. All right, Machiavelli has stumbled upon a time machine that's entered the present time. On arrival, he was identified and sentenced to public trial, where the jury, all of you, will decide if he's guilty or innocent of his crimes. The defendant may proceed first.
Your Honor, I am here to defend the honor and life of Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli was an Italian Renaissance politician, political philosopher, and statesman. He had the privilege of being the head chancery in charge of Florence's international duties in certain courtiers for 14 years in 1512. He served faithfully, establishing militaries, taking on diplomatic military missions, overseas fortification, and writing an official history of the Republic. He has always served his country, even when different rulers and leaders took over the regime. In years of crisis, he was presented to the cardinal and was elected to resolve the bankruptcy in we have the official history of Florence's Republic because he stepped up to write it. Machiavelli was a skilled writer that has given us many classics of that time. Your Honor, Machiavelli has done more good in his life serving his country than doing it wrong.
Well said. The prosecutor may proceed next.
Your Honor, Niccolo Machiavelli was a manipulative man, and he was even given the title of the Teacher of Evil. During his time as head of chancery in 1503, he wrote On the Wheel to deal with rebel subjects of Valentigina, a commentary on ancient Rome. His overarching idea was that one must either benefit from the rebellious people or eliminate them. Since then, he has been imprisoned when the Republic was first overthrown by the Medici regime. In exile, he wrote two most famous pieces of his literature, The Prince and Discourses on Livy, both which were not published after his death. Because Machiavelli was not rightly tried for what people have called his most dangerously wicked work, The Prince, he should be rightly tried for punishment here, for the effects his writing had on the most famous tyrants that have succeeded his passing.
Interesting case you make. Defendant, you may call your witness.
I call Niccolo Machiavelli to the stand. Machiavelli, where did you grow up?
I was born May 3rd, 1469 in Florence, Italy. I grew up with a wealthy family, but my father, Bernardo, was the poorest member. Although he was doctor of laws, he lived frugally. He inspired me to take ownership of my own life so I could live in prosperity.
You wrote many pieces of literature. Where did you get such pristine education?
Well, my father had a library, and I taught myself Latin and some Greek. Mostly I attended lectures by Marcello Vidroli, and I listened to the sermons of Savonarola, the ruler of Florence. However, he was an unarmed prophet. Although he was smart, those kinds of people messed up.
You have proved to be very smart. Would you say your works of literature were influential?
Well, not to boast, but yes, they were quite influential. I wrote about the necessities of republicanism.
His writings about the Republic have greatly influenced the founding fathers of the United States of America. He is accredited to be a supporter of the Republic, and for that, we should thank him for the state of our country today.
No, please.
And you called him, and you called all of the people he influenced tyrants.
You may question.
Machiavelli, you have discussed how you are an avid fan of the Republic. Would you say you are loyal to the leadership of the Republic?
Yes.
And did you not, the very same people who overthrew the Florence Republic, commission you to write the history of Florence?
Yes, they did.
And what did you tell the people of Florence?
Well, to make a long story short, to be wary of trusting the Medici regime. However, I had to warn your people and also keep my favor with the Medicis not to lose my power.
Interesting. And what about your most famous work, The Prince? What did you say in this work?
Well, I taught leaders how to keep their power and to use it to serve the country.
I'm going to read a section from The Prince, and you can tell me if you agree with what you've written. You have quoted, "It is not necessary for a prince to have the good qualities mentioned above, but it is necessary to seem to have them. And to have them, they are useful all the time is dangerous, but seeming to have them is useful."
I stand by what I've written.
What about, "To spend others' money does not harm your reputation, but helps it. It is only spending your money that hurts you. There is nothing that uses itself up like generosity."
That is correct.
Finally, you have said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved. If one of the two has to be given up, while you are doing men favors, they are all yours, offering you blood, possessions, life, and children."
That's inconsequential. Whatever you say that.
You gained head chancery at the age of 29. That is quite young, especially of someone who has never proved to be succeeding in a leadership before accepting this position. Do you think you follow your own advice of manipulation to seize the power and keep it?
I will refrain from answering that question at this time.
Do you plead the fifth?
Sure.
Finish your argument.
Jury, I present to you the man who teaches tyrants how to keep their power over their subjects by being good only when is necessary, using cruelty to advance your agenda, and uses any method to gain power and enjoy crimes for its own sake. Ladies and gentlemen, tyrants hate him because he gave away their secrets, and young tyrants read him and follow his advice. Although we have no record of proving this is true, besides watching history, we have seen that Hitler and Stalin's actions have aligned with his teachings. I think that it is true that Niccolo Machiavelli is the teacher of evil.
I hereby call the court to order and call the jury to vote by show of hands. Who would say that Niccolo Machiavelli is innocent? Who would pronounce him guilty? I hereby pronounce Niccolo Machiavelli guilty.
Doesn't it need to be unanimous?
It's a hung jury.
It's a hung jury. Retrial.
Redo the vote.
Redo the vote. Actually, the court's overruling. He's guilty.
You die a month after they overthrow the Medici family. We could send you back to your time.
Wait! I die before I'm elected chancery again? That's punishment enough for me. What is there left to live for? I mean, like...
It's a prison sentence for you now.
No, I've escaped prison before. You can't do this to me. I will be back. Don't worry. I will be back. You can't hold me forever.